In this video, we talk all about dictionaries in Python. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now let's go to our table real quick and take a look at dictionaries. So we got dictionaries. Dictionaries are not ordered. Now they do use keys, and so you can kind of order things based off of their keys, but they're not ordered in terms of like index 0, index 1, index 2, etc. Instead, they use keys for their order and structure, and those are set up by you. So if you order them in some sort of way with your keys, then they're kind of ordered, but they're not ordered based off of index positions. Hopefully that makes some sense. Now, they are not mutable, kind of, as well. So dictionaries are kind of funky because they contain keys and then values related to those keys. So the keys are immutable. Whatever you set as the key is the key. Okay, you can't go and change the key. However, the values associated with those keys can change. And as we go through some examples, you'll see exactly what I mean between keys and values and changing things. Okay, and then we set it up with the squirrely brackets, just like we do with a set, but we assign the key as well as the value at the same time, and then Python knows that we're making a dictionary compared to a set. So let's go over and start playing with it. So let's go ahead and create our dictionary real quick. So I'm going to make one called cart, like shopping cart. It's equal to squirrely brackets, and we'll go with apples.
And we'll say we have 6 apples in our cart, and then we've got, grapes, and we got, 2 bunches of grapes in our cart. Then we've got oranges, and we really like oranges, so we've got 12 of them in our cart. And then we'll go with pears, and we've got, 2 pears in our cart.
So we'll run it real quick, and nothing happened. And we do print cart. All right, so there is our dictionary. Apples of 6, grapes of 2, oranges of 12, pears of 2. Now if we want to print like how many grapes we have in our cart, or bunches of grapes we have, we can use the print, and then we do cart, and we say what we want to print. So grapes. So we run that real quick, and we see that we have 2 bunches of grapes in our cart. So basically, instead of using like 0, 1, 2, 3, or whatever the index is to call up the value we're trying to get, we use the key instead. So grapes is the key versus apples. So how many apples we got in our cart? We got 6 apples in our cart. Now, if we want to add something to our cart, it's very easy to add something to our dictionary. So it would just be our dictionary, and then we'd set our key. So let's say we want to add kiwis. And then we set it equal to whatever we want. So let's say we like kiwis. We want 7 kiwis in there. And so now we've added kiwis to our dictionary. Let me go ahead and print out our whole dictionary real quick so we can see. So we got apples 6, grapes 2, oranges 12, pears 2, kiwis 7. So that's how you go ahead and add items to a dictionary. Also, we can change the values in our dictionary. Again, we can't change these keys like apples, grapes, oranges, pears, and kiwis, but we can change the value of the particular key. So let's go ahead, let me delete kiwis out of there. I'll run it real quick. And then let's say that we decided we don't want any apples. So we can set that to 0 by doing cart, and then our brackets here, and apples is equal to 0. Run it real quick, and now we've changed the value of our key of apples down to 0. All right, let me go ahead and wipe this out real quick. Now, also the in operator works with dictionaries, so we can see if a particular key is present in our dictionary. So let's see if apples is in cart. And it came back as false because I can't spell apples correctly. And then we got true. So obviously, if you spell the word correctly, you get a true, assuming it's in your dictionary. Obviously, if it's not in your dictionary, you get a false, like when I typed applies, we got a false statement. So the in operator works there. Now, one last thing I want to show you is the get method, which is useful for dictionaries because you can get errors in dictionaries if you call something and it's not there. So let's do this, print, and we will do cart, and apples, keeps saying applies. So we got 6, right? So doing it like this, we get the value of apples. Now let me do another example right below it. So if we do one, cart, and we want to see how many kiwis we have in our cart, kiwis. We run it, we get an error. So that's not good, right? We don't want errors because errors in our code could break the entire script and the whole thing could explode and the world will end. So instead of using this type of method for printing the value of a key, what you could do is the get method. And so I'm going to change these two real quick. So we got cart.get, and you wrap it in parentheses. So we got cart.get apples, and then cart.get, and we got kiwis over here. And we'll run it real quick. So as you see, it turned back, gave us 6 apples, which is what we were hoping to get. And then it gives us none for kiwis. Like we don't have any kiwis in our cart or in our dictionary, so it came back as none. So get is often a better option to use when you're doing stuff with dictionaries, because as you saw, if you try and call for an item or a key that's not in the dictionary, you get an error, which explodes everything, versus if you use the get method, it just gives you a none, and you could create like an operation. If you get a none value, then you just go on to the next item or key, something to that effect. So a none, it's saying none is better than an error, right? So it's often recommended to use the get method when running through dictionaries instead of using the brackets. And that's really it for this video on dictionaries. You can do some more stuff with dictionaries, like you can have multiple dictionaries inside of a dictionary, which is called compounding. And I'll probably have some video on that later on. But yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And I hope that you have a great rest of the day.